Hey, church, here we are today, and we're still in chapter 4. In chapter 4, man, Jonah is just not happy because God is saving people. And what we need to see is that God shows us pity. We should show pity to other people. We started off yesterday, we saw that Jonah is just exceedingly angry, and he's angry enough to die because God saved people. The irony is that God saved him, right? 2 chapters ago, we saw Jonah was in the belly of a fish, and then he's vomited out. God saves him, God shows him mercy, and he's like, thank you, God, I deserve mercy. But not those people. So today we see this same kind of idea. Jonah goes out, verse 5 and following, and sat on the east side of the city. And he made a booth, like a tent there for himself. And he sat under it in the shade until the sun, and so he could see what would become of the city. So Jonah's watching. He's like, I still want God to judge him. Maybe he will. And God's watching. There's no judgment. God made a plant come up, and it came over Jonah, and it gave him shade to save him from his discomfort. So Jonah was exceedingly glad because of the plant. But when dawn came up the next day, God appointed a worm that attacked the plant, so it withered. When the sun came and rose, he appointed a scorching east wind, and the sun beat down on the head of Jonah so that he was faint. And he asked that he might die and said, it's better for me to die than live. And God said to Jonah, listen to this. Do you do well to be angry for the plant? But like not Nineveh? Do you see what God does is God puts Jonah in this real life parable, and Jonah's sitting there and he's looking, he's like, man, I'm so thankful for the shade that you gave me, God. You're such an awesome, amazing God. And then Jonah continues and he's like, the plant left and now I'm in the sun and it's so terrible. Feel bad for me. And all the while there's this whole city that's out there that's dying. Here's what I want you to get. Sometimes God is more concerned about us being holy than us being happy, right? It's kingdom over comfort. It's holiness over happiness. God's going to do things in life that they don't always make sense to us. And sometimes we're selfish like Jonah, and Jonah laments judgment on himself, but he laments mercy on Nineveh. So, question, just to think about the absurdity. Do we ever experience that? Are there times in our lives, or in your life, in my life, in lives of people you know, where we're so upset because we have to experience a little bit of discomfort, and forget about all the people out there that really have big problems in life?